guys, Preacher 357 here, coming to you again from the range with a gun here that I've had for a few years that I really like. It's a Model 66 Smith and Wesson, and the Model 66 is the stainless version of the Model 19. I did a review of a Model 19 not too long ago. Of course, it was a 6-inch barrel, whereas this is the 4-inch barrel, though this may be 4 1/4. I'm not really sure when they changed, because the new ones are 4 1/4. I'm not sure about this one, because I don't have a lot of information about this gun. This is a Model 66-7. If you're familiar with the dashes on the Smith and Wesson, that refers to an engineering change. Whenever they make a change to the Smith and Wessons, usually they would add a number to it. The original would be 66, say that, in the 1970s when these came out. The first engineering change was then a 66-1. The next one was a 66-2. And so this is a 66-7. And the reason I don't know much about it is because it's not in the standard catalog of Smith and Wesson, which is kind of the Smith and Wesson collector's Bible, so to speak. I'm saying that in a colloquial sense. I'm not saying it's actually something I worship by. It's not really a Bible, but it's the standard catalog that we use as Smith and Wesson collectors to research and understand and know about the guns. And it's not in there at all. It shows that the Model 66-6 was made up until 2004, 2005, and then discontinued. And there's no mention of a 66-7, but then in 2014, I believe it was, they come out with the 66-8. They reintroduce it. And there's just nothing mentioned about a 66-7 at all. And that's why the title of the video here references a version that doesn't exist. And I'm reviewing a gun that doesn't exist. And it almost seems like it doesn't, other than the fact that people have them. That's pretty much the only way you know they exist, which I guess is a pretty good way. Here it is. It must exist if I've got it in my hand, right? But from what I can gather from the research I've been able to do, what little information is out there, what it was is this was not a standard Smith & Wesson catalog product any longer. It was not considered a standard product. However, it appears that it could be special ordered. And I believe that's pretty much what you see now. That a lot of these were actually guns that were ordered by police departments, whether in the U.S. or abroad, or by security companies or what have you, that did not want one of the M&Ps, one of even the third generation semi-autos that Smith had. They didn't want any of those. They wanted a revolver. And so Smith & Wesson was able to make this gun on request. And I believe that's what these are. I believe this is probably a police trade-in, because I saw about 3 or 4 of these things all at the same time in a very short period of time. Not at the same time, but in a very short period of time, about 5 years ago. This was the first one I saw. And after looking it up in the standard catalog and realizing it didn't exist, I had to have it because it's just a novelty. That doesn't mean it's worth more money, because it's not. But it was just something interesting, so I had to go back and pick it up when I found that out. But then I also saw a couple more later, very shortly after that, that filtered into some shops around here. So the best I can figure, these were police trade-ins more than likely. They were special orders. Now, I saw online where one guy said in 2005, around the time when they were supposedly being discontinued, he actually bought one of these, which was a 66-7, at a shop. So maybe they even shipped a few of them out initially. I don't know. There's just a lot I don't know. So if there's people out there that know more about these than I do, which wouldn't take much, chime in, comment on the video and let me know what you know about it. But this is a 66-7. The new models are 66-8. This one is like the 66-8 in that it has a 2-piece barrel system on it. The 2-piece barrel system is basically a barrel inside and then a shroud over the top of it. Now, you'll often hear people mistakenly call these sleeved barrels. These are not sleeved barrels. A lot of people will call them that. I'm not making a big deal about that. But a sleeve is actually an insert that goes inside the barrel, either to repair damaged rifling or to change the caliber This is not something that goes in the barrel. This is something that goes over the top of the barrel. This shroud here that you see is actually the covering. It goes over the barrel. The barrel is the inside here, if you can see. And one difference between this one and the 66-8, which also has the shrouded barrel, the two-piece barrel system, is this has a different crown. The crown on the new ones are recessed inside the shroud, so to speak, whereas this one comes out and flares out on the sides, which makes it look more like a standard bull barrel does on the Smith and Wessons that they use before the shrouded barrel here, before the two-piece barrel system. So I think it looks better. I don't like the looks of that recessed crown that they have on the new Model 66s. It looks kind of unfinished to me, the way they did it. Now, they did that on purpose. That's their styling. It's not anything that they failed to do. It's just the way they decided they wanted it to look, and it just doesn't appeal to me as much as this does. But a recessed crown, the benefit is there's less chance of damaging it, because if you damage your crown, then you lose accuracy. It can really mess up your accuracy by messing up the spin of the bullet as it leaves the barrel. So this does have that two-piece barrel system on it. A lot of people hate that. A lot of people despise that. They say, oh, Smith and Wesson is just cutting corners, and Smith and Wesson is just making cheap products now. Well, it probably does save some money in some ways, possibly. It makes manufacturing easier, for sure. But two-piece barrel systems are known to be extremely accurate. Other companies have used them. Dan Wesson, their revolvers were always two-piece barrel systems, and those were extremely accurate revolvers. So just because it might be cheaper doesn't mean it's not better either. But one benefit you have with a two-piece barrel system is you don't have to worry about the canted barrels the same way that you did before these. Because basically you get to put the barrel in and tighten it down without having to worry about the sights. And so you can get the barrel torqued properly without having to make sure you lined it up properly. And then you can put the barrel shroud over the top and line it up much easier. And so it prevents that canted barrel problem that so many Smith and Wessons have had, over the last, 40 years roughly, I guess, ever since they went away from the pin barrel system in 1982, I believe it was. So there is a benefit to it in that. Now, you could have it canted, but if that's the case, it's just because the shroud is canted, the barrel is not. So it wouldn't be a canted barrel; it'd be a canted shroud. So, but anyway, that's what we have here. Obviously, we've got the key lock on this one because it was made after 2001. A lot of people hate that; won't have one with those in them. One thing I can tell you is this gun here and my Model 686, that Talo edition, 357 edition I've got, both of them have the lock on them. Those are two of the best shooting Smith & Wessons I have. I have the pinned and recessed models. I've got all kinds of Smith & Wessons. And this one and that 686 have the best triggers of all of them. I love the feel of these. They are so crisp. And so just because it's not the way they used to do it doesn't mean they're not still putting out quality products. Now, I understand for some people this lock is just a matter of principle for them. They just hate that Smith & Wesson caved into the anti-gun crowd, and I can understand that, but it is what it is, and we're over 20 years past that now. So I still like the Smith & Wesson revolvers. It's what we have. They're still my favorite. Colt's making revolvers again, but I still like the Smiths better. I like them better than Taurus or Ruger or any of them. Now, I don't know about the Court or Manurin. I don't have either one of those, but as far as domestic revolvers go, Smith & Wesson is the brand that I like the best. One other thing that this does, in the way they've redesigned this one as well as the new one, is it allowed them to strengthen the forcing cone on these. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try maybe to get a picture in there if you can't see that. On the old K-frames, there was a flat spot on the bottom of the forcing cone here. And that was a point of weakness where you would get cracks. And this one does not have that. Going to this two-piece barrel system, the way they redid this, they eliminated that point of weakness. And so that's a good thing. But this is a very, very good shooting gun. especially for one that doesn't exist. This is the best shooting non-existent gun I've ever shot. So I thought I'd do a little bit of shooting today. I've done a lot of talking now, as I often do, but I'm just going to do some shooting and just have a little bit of fun out here, and thought I'd bring you along. So why don't we get to doing that? But first, make sure you check out the description on the video, on pretty much all my videos now that I've put up lately. There's a link there for the GOA, the Gun Owners of America. You can click that link and get a discounted membership. Also, there's a link there for the TFA, the Tennessee Firearms Association, which does a lot of good work here in Tennessee. The guys that run that, Richard and John, don't take any money. They're volunteers. Everybody that works with the TFA does so on a volunteer basis. So all the money that you donate to them goes straight to the cause. So if you live in Tennessee, I urge you to join the TFA. And coming up in September the 3rd, the TFA has their annual meeting. And I don't know if you saw that video I did with the Smith and Wesson M&P 15 Sport 2. I've donated that gun to that auction there. So if you want to come to the annual meeting of the TFA, there's still time. You can buy tickets at $60 for a ticket, and you can come out and support the cause there. We've got Eric Pratt from the Gun Owners of America is going to be there to speak to us, because the TFA and the Gun Owners of America will work hand in hand here in the state of Tennessee, because both are no compromise organizations. They don't compromise our rights in any shape, form, or fashion, and never will. So now that I've went through that spiel there, why don't we do a little bit of shooting? I'm going to start out with 38 Special here, and see if I can do a little shooting and maybe a little hitting. Hopefully. I did some sighting in of this gun before, because the last time I had this gun out, the only time I think you've seen this gun was in the video I did on, I think it was on points of impact, and I couldn't remember how I'd adjusted the sights or what I'd adjusted them for, so I went ahead and brought it out here and sighted it in a little bit to make sure it was hitting fairly well where I needed it to be. And it was when I shot it earlier, but I'm not going to guarantee it still is. I may be way off with it now, but I was shooting it well earlier. But let's try it out here. Let's go out here on this little place. There we go, dead center, look at there. And then I missed that one. What in the world? How am I missing this one? There we go. Well, I started out right, and then struggled a little bit, which is kind of surprising. I was holding a little bit high, maybe. Maybe I was holding a little bit high. Let's try again here. Let me bring it down just a hair. Well, maybe not. I don't know where I'm going. Let me try this big plate again. Maybe I'm holding too low. Maybe that's what the problem is. Out of ammo. I think I'm holding too low. Let's try her again here. I think that was the problem. All right. Well, I don't know where that went. I didn't see where that one went. All right. Right here, 35. There we go. Kind of going all over it. I'm hitting it, but it's going all over the place. Yeah, these rounds going a little bit low. I initially sighted in with a different round. I've got a few of them here, but I'm almost out of them. So I brought out the these other ones as well. They're all the same grain, 158 grain. but these are round nose here, whereas those are semi-wad cutters. Just have a, you know, that flat point on them, a flat front on them. Let's go out here to at distance. I don't know if you saw that AR video, but I've got a new plate out there that I put out there at 100 yards. Now, for the sake of disclosure, it's probably not quite 100. Using the GPS map program that I use to kind of calculate my distances out here, I think it's about 98 from the 97 or 98 from the table here. So I'm stepping back about a yard. So it's 98, maybe 99. I could step back a little further, but we'll just call it 100. We'll round up. It might be 98 or 99 when I shoot it, but, you know, good enough, right? Let's not be too picky. Go out here, see if I can hit this one. Well, a little low. Got to bring it up just a hair. All right, I was hitting it earlier. That sounded like it hit it. That hit it. There we go. These 38 specials just barely get out there. They don't hit it with a lot of force, that's for sure. I'm gonna put in some of these semi-wad cutters again, because something I noticed earlier, I don't know if it's still gonna do it or not, but we'll see. Thought it was interesting. So we'll see if it still does the same thing. We're gonna go back out here to this this plate at 100 yards. I'm gonna call it 100. It's easier just to say 100 than it is to say 97, 98, 99, wherever I'm standing. All right, I'm gonna go out here one more time. This is a 24-inch plate, by the way. So it's twice the size as the big red plates that I've got up here, and the 12-inch red I've got down there as well at 80. So I'm gonna aim same place I aimed with the other ammo. Well, it hit. Last time it was coming up short when I did that. Yep, that time it did. You saw it hit short. And what it is they're the same weight of bullet. It's practically the same amount of powder, the same amount of power behind it. They're loaded roughly to the exact same velocity. And when I shot them here on the target earlier, when I was sighting it in, they had almost the same point of impact. And yet when I went out there, I had to hold higher with this ammo than with the other ammo. And the reason is the semi-wad cutter is a flat point, whereas the other is a round nose, which means the round nose is more aerodynamic. It cuts through the air better. Not as well as a spear point, not as well as a Spitzer bullet, but better than a semi-wad cutter. And so the semi-wad cutter, by the time it gets all the way out to 100 yards, has caught more air and slowed down more. And so when you get out at distance, you have to hold up a little higher and kind of lob it in a little bit more than you do with the round nose. And it's going to vary round to round as to how much drag you get. I think I went a little high on that. There we go. There we go. Not aiming much higher, but a little bit. All right, I'm going to try to hit that 80-yard rifle plate as well. I was able to hit it earlier, but I'm not making guarantees now. Not making any guarantees. And this is a K-frame, so I shoot more 38 special in the K-frames than I do 357, but we will shoot some 357 as well. I've got some out here. I just love 38 special. I love that round. It's just such a great shooting round. Now, you want to let it go. There we go. There we go. Well, I think I pulled that one. There we go. I don't know where that last one went. All right, time for some Magnums. Man, I am sweating. It is hot out here. I mean, it's cloudy and getting later in the day, but it's still hot. I am sweaty and sticky. Woo! Let's go out here to 100. I shouldn't have to hold over with a Magnum. Sounded like it hit it. I think I went low on that one. I can't tell where I'm going. Yep, hit it with that one. Try this plate at 80. There we go. This is a good shooting gun. I do my part, it definitely does it. Of course, there's a lot of guns that probably do their part when I don't, but this is a good shooting gun. A little bit of a flinch there. Oh, I don't know if you guys have realized it yet, but I love Smith and Wessons. I love the triggers on them. I love the way they shoot. I love the way they feel. Everything about them is just perfect. There's a lot of guys that love Rugers, a lot of guys that love Colts, and I like them too. I ain't found a Colt or a Ruger yet I don't like, but there's just something about a Smith and Wesson. It's just home. It's just, it feels right. Let's go over here and try one more time. I want to hit one of these orange things, one of these clays, but I don't know if I'll be able to ever do it. Talking about 30 yards on a little clay. That's bigger than the front sight. I mean, the front sight's bigger than the target. Well, I hit it. I caught it on the edge, and it broke. So there you go. I got one round left, and I guess I'm gonna go out here to 100 yards for this last round. And I hit it. So I guess that's enough of me plinking around. I'm getting awfully sweaty here. Still warm out here. Guys, I appreciate you coming out to see this beautiful revolver, even though it's got that key lock on it, even though it's a two-piece barrel. It's still a great revolver. Still a great shooting revolver. And I really enjoy this gun. I enjoy shooting it. I wish I'd been able to get it out more often, but I don't get to shoot some of them near as much as what I'd like to. One other thing I didn't mention is this is from 2008, which was another thing when I saw this. A 66-7 wasn't listed, and they said they discontinued them in 2005, and this is a 2008 model. So that was another thing that was interesting to me, that it clearly hadn't been discontinued the way they thought, but as I said, it's just I believe they discontinued it from the catalog, but they were still available for special order, and somebody traded it in, and now I've got it, and now you see it, and now you know what a gun that doesn't exist looks like. Appreciate you coming out. God bless you. Y'all take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.